What?
Fourth segment time. So, pre-COVID, you could hitch a ride on a freight ship, on like a big boat that carries all the shipping containers.
Yeah.
And so, you can do a round trip. Most people don't do the round trip because the round trip is like 40 to 50 days. Most people do like a half and then fly back on a plane. So it's about 20 days, right? We're talking 20 days. You hop on a boat and you're out at sea, right? It's about $100 to $150 per day, per guest, which honestly is pretty damn good because you don't have to pay for food. You don't have to pay for like gas or like restaurants or like seeing things. So, like, imagine you go on a normal vacation, right? You got to pay for, let's say you're going to take a plane to California for a week, okay? You got to pay for the airfare, okay? Let's say that's $1,000. This is all pre-COVID money. So $1,000. Fair amount for a round trip to California, I would say. Or let's say actually a better one, Hawaii. Okay? It's $1,000 to get to Hawaii. Fair assumption, right? It's a round trip. Okay? And then you're going to spend a week there. You're not going to pick some cheap hotel. You're going to pick a nice hotel. So we're talking a few $100s a night. Let's say $200 a night. You're going to spend 7 days there. What's 200 times? Okay, we're already talking $2,500, all right? And that is just for your room and your plane fare. That isn't saying all the tourist trap stuff you're going to do. That isn't all 3 meals throughout the day. Let's say it has a free continental breakfast, so breakfast is taken care of pretty much every morning. But that's not your dinners, and that's not your lunches. All right? Realistically, are you going to spend that much money on that kind of stuff? It's unlikely, which again, we're not, if you do the 50-day trip, I mean, do you really want to be on a boat for 50 days? I don't know, maybe you do.
Yeah.
Or maybe you end up doing the 40-day trip. So then it's only $4,000 if you get one that's $100 a day. Okay? $4,000. Yeah. Otherwise, your Hawaii trip is at, before food, $2,500 before food, and that's only 7 days. So I was like, would you, when you're older, for actually, I guess in this case, if you're doing a let's say, would you do the, okay.
What?
Would you be more, all right. Would you go on a trip on an ocean liner for 40, 50 days? Or would you do like the 20-day one?
Oh, 40 days. That's a long...
It is a long time. It's the length of Lent.
I think I'd rather have no concerns or whatever. Like, that'd be like something really fun to do when I'm retired.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're going to do this when you're retired. Not going to do it now.
Yeah.
But would you do it, though? Would you take 20 to 40 days of your life and go sit on a boat?
Do nothing, yeah. And just kind of see the world as you travel around.
Well, you're not really going to see the world. You're going to be out in the middle of the Pacific or Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, fine. So we get 40 days of brilliant, well, at least possibly 2 new moons of ocean view.
That's what I was thinking. Unfortunately, you can't take any photos because you're on a boat.
That's moving slow.
Not that slow. Think about how...
Oh, okay, fine. So you can't take time-lapse. Okay, you can't take time-lapse.
Well, no, I mean, okay, think about it now, all right? I take a 5-second exposure. It's already curved,
That's
right?
what I meant. I exposed time-lapse. I said time-lapse. I meant exposure time.
Yeah, you take a 15-second exposure and you're already getting arcs. Now you're on a boat. Now, if you get an expensive enough mount, I bet you could do it. Because NASA actually has an infrared telescope on a plane.
Yeah.
Do you know about this?
No.
Anyways, NASA has an infrared telescope. They're still using it, but I'm assuming once James Webb is here, they probably won't. But they used to take pictures of the solar system. At least that's what the article said.
Yeah.
But I had remembered this telescope from a YouTube video like a couple years back. But anyways, and I was just thinking about taking photos. I'm like, well, freaking NASA uses a massive telescope, infrared. It's infrared. And puts it on a plane, takes photos. So I'm like, okay, if I get whatever kind of mount NASA gets for my camera and put it on this boat, yeah. But yeah, you would get stunning. But like, that's the thing though. You're not like, even if there is a new moon, think about like the week leading up to a new moon and the week after. It's gonna be once the moon sets. And if you do it in the winter, oh my god. Or you do it at a time when the moon sets pretty early in the night still. Think about how awesome that's gonna be. You're out in the middle of nowhere, out just in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Would be that's exactly where my mind went. I'm like, the stars would be awesome. Now, granted, on this boat, right, you are kind of a second-rate citizen.
Yeah.
You are not top priority. The crew could care less. However, some ships have a library that you can go and get books and DVDs from. Some have a gym. So take this as a 40 days to get yourself whipped into shape.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to be on a seaman's diet, so I don't know how healthy that's going to be. But, you know, I thought about it. I'm like, you know, I would miss the internet, but I'm like, 40 days? That'd be kind of cool, though. Like, bring a laptop with me, do some writing, download every movie I could ever think of onto my laptop. All my TV shows as well. Which, pretty sure I have probably 40 days worth of content, to be honest. The thing is, though, there's not a lot of stuff to do on the boat. That's the thing. It's like, you know, I say I've got 40 days worth of content, but like, 8 hours a day, let's say, you watch videos. You're going to burn through, I mean, maybe not House, because there's 8 seasons of House, and you watch for 8 hours a day. That's, let's say you burn 9 episodes a day. Let's say you burn half a season a day. It's gonna take you half your trip just to watch all of House.
Yeah.
Because there's not, well, no, take that back. There's like 8 or 9 seasons. Let's say 9 seasons. That's 18 days. That's almost half your trip just watching House 8 hours a day, which you won't do 8 hours a day. You'll go for a lap around the ship. You'll go work out. You'll decide to read instead because you'll get bored. So it's like, honestly, I could probably do it. Knowing just thinking about that fact, and then also like, let's look at. I've also got Better Call Saul. Not Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, but I would also get Better Call Saul for it. I've got every Marvel movie, and there's 20 some of those, and they're each 2 hours long. There's 40 hours of content right there. There's 1 week's worth of content right there. So already, just with Marvel movies and House, I've got 30 days worth of content right there.
Yeah.
That honestly, just with that, yeah. I can make it the 40 days easy. Not to mention if I download all the Star Wars movies, and I've got Alf. Alf that was pretty short. You can get through a lot of episodes in one day. But I've got Alf. I've got Scooby Doo. I've got 2.5 Men. I could get Big Bang Theory. Honestly, I could fill myself up on content, and I could easily do it. And also, you gotta think like if I go with you, we could play cards, we could play board games. Because I'm sure they'll have that on board. Now, granted, would you go by yourself or would you like take me, Kyle, and Will? Would you take Will on a boat for 40 days?
Yeah.
Honestly,
I mean, it's nice and all, but
Will's nice. That's if you're only watching for 8 hours a day, though. Which realistically, you're gonna watch more than that. But if you go, well, it all really depends on like if you're going over the equator on this trip. So like it'll be pretty calm seas. It'll be pretty clear. Going through the doldrums. You know, you might be able to get like every single night, nice clear nights.
Yeah.
So that's possible. Or you'll get crappy nights every night you're out there, and the whole 40 days you're just stuck inside. That would suck. But I don't know. There'd be, I mean, you'd probably just spend like a day just sitting out like on a chair, looking at the sea. You know, because you're out in the ocean. I mean, just pondering life, watching the waves crash over as the boat hums through the ocean. I think I could do it. Now that I really like kind of break down the timeline and like what I would need to do to keep myself entertained, I think it'd really depend on who's with me and like how second rate am I with these crew members. I will say though, there isn't a doctor. So like if you get sick or injured, you're kind of SOL. So it isn't like the safest thing in the world. So 40 days without a doctor, yeah, you do it all the time. Yeah. But also you'll have a haircut. So
yeah,
maybe I guess I would probably 40 days. That's how many weeks is that? 28 days is 4. Oh my god, 28 days is 4 weeks. Holy crap! All right, never mind. This is a long time. This is several weeks.
Do you not think about that? 28 days is a month.
This is 40 days is a long time.
You dummy.
40. This is like
that's like 5 weeks.
This is the minimum too. 40 divided by 7. 5.6 weeks. This is 2 months.
That's
Holy crap! This is like 2 months at sea. Holy crap! That's a long time.
What you're getting into?
Huh?
You obviously didn't know what you're getting into.
No, I didn't. No, I did not. Oh my god. 6 weeks. You were 6 weeks on a boat. Okay. Fair enough. I can handle that. 6 weeks on a boat. Fair enough. Okay. Might go stir crazy, but 6 weeks on a boat. So you said you would do it?
Yeah.
Would you do it by yourself?
I'd consider it.
Would you go with me and Kyle?
I'd prefer to.
Do you think we could convince Kyle to go?
No. Eventually, one day.
One day. Think we could convince Will to go?
Maybe.
I guess he would probably want to go with his girlfriend now. Because 40 days... Well, 40 days without talking to her. 39 days. Because one of these times you are going to stop at a port. Because if you're doing the round trip, you're going to stop at a port. Then you're going to have internet.
Mm-hmm.
So... No porn.
Why do you need that for?
I don't know. I'm just pointing that out. How
I
many
didn't know
times?
that. I didn't know that mattered.
I mean, how many times do you wank yourself in 40 days?
0.
I'm not gonna ask. Any further questions on that subject? But Uncle needs his booty. No, I think it'd be honestly. I could do it. It'd be.
Could you? Could you though?
Do what?
Go 40 days on a boat.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I would actually kind of want some rough seas at least once or twice because that'd be kind of fun. You know, like how often does a container sink in the middle of the freaking ocean? Not very often. So you feel pretty safe. It's like you see those videos of those guys on those crab boats, like taking those waves. That'd be kind of fun. If you don't get sick, you might vomit. You do have a weak stomach. Remember the merry-go-round?
Yeah.
That was the best part. I remember that we're on the thing for like 10 minutes just straight, just spinning it as fast as we can. And we get off, and the first thing is just vomit. And I'm like, bro, and you're like, yeah, I have a weak stomach. I'm like, you didn't tell me that before we spun on the thing for 10 minutes. Oh, man. Was that Easter? That was Easter, right?
Yeah.
Your whole Easter dinner just came right back up.
Lunch, I think, or was it dinner?
It was lunch. Yeah, because it was... Yes, I think it was lunch.
Yeah.
Which the whole lunch came right back up. Oh, man. Good times, good times. Well, anyways, anything else you want to talk about in these... about the boat? What would you do? What would you do? Right? I talked about what I would bring to keep myself entertained. What would you bring?
Some books? Well, I guess they have a library, right?
Well, I mean, there's no guarantee you're going to get the books that you want, though.
Yeah.
It might just be, like, classics and stuff.
Oh. To think about it.
It's a fair question. What do you ask somebody what they can do for 40 days?
Yeah, what do you do for 40 days?
Well, Lent is coming up. So, if I could take 40 days off, I would certainly try and do something, but I can't, so. But, yeah, that's a good reminder. Lent is coming up, and I'm excited to have some fish and shrimp. So.
Oh, you have to wait till Lent to have fish and shrimp?
Well, no, I had some shrimp the other day, but it's just like, it's expensive. So it's like, normally I wouldn't. But now it's like, I have to, so it's like, why not?
Oh.
Instead of having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I'll have some shrimp. Or having a grilled cheese, have some shrimp.
Yeah.
I'm just excited for shrimp. Oh, and I want to go to Memphis. Not Tennessee, Memphis, Nebraska. And get some all-you-can-eat pullock. Fantastic. Pullock is a crappy fish, but I will say the way they cook it, fantastic. So, I want to do that. Anyways, that seafaring ways. Folks, let me know. Would you sit on a boat for 40 days? In the meantime, I would like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New podcasts every single Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time. And good night.